Welcome to Mueller Time, episode 9.
We're up to 9.
Don't forget to follow us. My name is Eric Levay, Ericlevai, and I'm on Twitter.
And Mr. Chris Carey on Twitter.
Chris, I was thinking, why don't we just go into the douchebag of the week?
Do we have one?
Rudolph Giuliani.
Well, okay, come on. That's way too easy.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm not convinced that he's not just a massive misinformation plan. Misinformation plan.
Oh, you think so?
I'm not, because he says something different on each one of his appearances, and he contradicts himself, and I don't know.
I just watched the George Stephanopoulos. I mean, it's like a Peter Sellers movie.
Okay, well, they're saying he's Trump's lawyer now. Is he really Trump's lawyer, or is that they're just calling him that and putting him on TV as another one of the pro-Trump talking head pundits?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking, I don't know. When do you officially become someone's lawyer? Is it when you sign a paper, or when they agree to take is it money exchange?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to get paid.
Well, that's no different than anyone else in Trumplandia.
Yeah, he'll probably get stiff for sure. But for him, it's all about a job. It's all about he wants that State Department job. That's what they say.
Well, he didn't get it the first time. Why is he going to? Well, they're having a hard time keeping people in any position.
Rudy, I don't know how far back the listeners or even you go with Rudy. I go way back with Rudy.
Well, I'm a West Coaster, so I knew who he was, but I didn't really think one way or the other about him until September 11th, 2000. All right, 2001. What year did that happen?
2001.
2001.
Yeah, I know it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm old.
No. Didn't we? Wait, I seem to recall the other night when we were drinking all that vodka.
When we were hanging out.
Oh, I mean, my bad.
No, that wasn't a whole lot of vodka.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe for you.
Okay.
I had the bottle next to me.
Oh, okay.
But we did talk about that, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So, I'm just going to do the Giuliani summary for a sec. I'm from the East Coast. A lot of my family lives in New York. Giuliani came in as mayor. And in the beginning, he did some good things because he was a total authoritarian. So sometimes those guys occasionally do something right. And he cleaned up the streets to some degree. And you and I talked about he cleaned up Times Square.
Yeah, he turned Times Square into City Walk, Universal City Walk.
Right. And which was I think was great because it really was a scary place. Anyway, but after that, everything was fucked. Everything else the guy did, he was horrible. And then came September 11th and this ridiculous America's mayor thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's someone that is shameless in self-promotion and did it in the most disgusting fashion ever.
Right. And I don't want this to be the Giuliani show, but let me tell you guys something. On September 11th, 2001, if you didn't know that, Giuliani was the one who put the emergency command center in the World Trade Center.
Oh, yeah.
After he was told not to by everybody. And when that was destroyed, none of those responders could talk to each other. And a lot of people died because of that. So, yeah, that's America's
Rudy.
mayor. Yeah, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
So what was America's mayor? You walked through the streets. So did Hillary Clinton. So did cops and firefighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway.
Joe Biden, noun, verb, 9/11.
Wait, what?
Oh, that was the 2008 campaign at one of the debates. Joe Biden making fun of Rudy Giuliani. He says he only has one thing to say: a noun, a verb, and 9/11.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is awesome.
That's when Rudy was running in 2008.
Oh man,
was it 2008, 2004, 2008? One of those. Yeah, they all go by so quickly.
Anyway, Rudy has just proved to be such a horrible person, and that's why he's the douchebag of the week.
Well, yeah, watching the rest of Trump's people try to cover for whether or not Trump knew that Michael Cohen paid $130,000 to Stormy Daniels. There's the NBC video on Air Force One where he flat out says, "No, I know nothing about that."
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's not what Rudy just told every news channel.
That Fox News interview was the Stephanopoulos was good, but the first one was the all timer with Hannity. Right?
Oh, when he blew Hannity's mind. Yeah, Hannity didn't know what to do.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Okay, what do you actually call that television appearance? That's obviously not journalism. That's we all already know that about Hannity. But now, after all that came out about Hannity actually being a client of Michael Cohen, so now Hannity is interviewing Rudy Giuliani about Michael Cohen and Trump. Is that propaganda? Is that journalism? What is that? And why is that our normal?
It's propaganda. I mean, they're all, I mean, even more now that we know even more about Cohn. I mean, Hannity has got real problems. I mean, he's a client of a career criminal. He knowingly took that guy on for reasons, I'm sure, to cover something up. And Hannity's there. I'm sure he's running scared too.
Yeah.
These guys all probably are trying to plan stuff, you know, how they can get ahead of this, but you can't just keep lying. It's just endless.
Well, that's what they do. That's all they know how to do.
Yeah. They've gotten away with a lot of it. And hey, Giuliani, when he was a prosecutor, he had a lot of respect, but look at where he is now. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. And again, it's only Monday.
Speaking of which, yeah, I know. I'm going to debut a new segment. I'm calling it and it relates to Giuliani. I'm calling it America for Dummies.
All right.
A seminar class. I want to teach the collective, some things about this country. There's just one thing.
All right.
It's regarding Giuliani used a certain phrase regarding FBI agents. Did you hear about that?
Yes. I know which phrase. Yeah.
Oh, you know, you can.
Yeah, the Star Wars phrase.
Yeah.
But no, not Star Wars.
Right. But yeah, no, Star Wars.
Nazi stormtroopers.
Yeah. So it's just a simple rule, America for Dummies, for anyone who doesn't know. And here's the rule. There's only one group of people that's allowed to use the phrase stormtroopers. And I'm saying this because I'm Jewish. It's Jewish people. 100% Jewish people. That's it. No one else gets to use the phrase. And it's phenomenal. It's the same thing with anything. You know, any group. You can speak of things that have happened to your own group and other people can't. And that's what's so, among the many reasons why that was disturbing. It's so disturbing to see these white bread wasps throwing out that phrase.
Yeah, well, it's a political figure, Rudy Giuliani, referring to American law enforcement as Nazi stormtroopers.
Right. It's like, one,
what's going on?
Yeah, don't do that. And also, don't be the Christian guy doing that. It's just, you either understand it or you don't. It's just how it is, right? I don't make references to things that have happened to other groups in that way. And, you know, it's just weird how they don't get that.
Okay, so sidebar, what is your feelings on George Lucas calling Darth Vader's soldiers stormtroopers?
That's pretty crazy. You know, I honestly never thought about that. I mean, that's pretty weird.
Well, you know, they were all the Empire, the space Nazis.
I guess
in that movie, in that movie universe.
I guess in one that it was fiction. Hey, because I'm not that big a Star Wars fan. In the movie, did they use that phrase a lot? Like the storm, you know, like they do. That's very interesting.
Okay, well, look, I was a kid when the first movie came out. I saw the first movie in theaters. I'm not old. I didn't realize that stormtroopers was a Nazi reference until a number of years later. That was just a normal thing. There were the Darth Vader's soldiers were the stormtroopers, and I didn't know the Nazi connotation to that name. You
know, I think because he's making social commentary through art, I think maybe that's a little different.
Okay, so you're giving the free pass.
I don't think it's a free pass. I think it's an artist making commentary. Okay. It's a big difference than real life.
Well, yeah.
You know.
No, there's a huge problem when, like I said, a political figure refers to American law enforcement as stormtroopers. If you or I insulted any form of American law enforcement, we are completely unpatriotic and we need to go move to socialist Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just in general, it's like, just to bring it back, you don't get to make Nazi references unless you're Jewish. I mean, you get it or you don't get it. Yeah, I know you get it. And I get it, and most people get it.
Well, I'm not Jewish. I might make Nazi references, but I'm not doing it like...
Yeah, but we're on the show here.
Okay.
You know, we're not like... You're not like off at some party.
Yeah.
You know when you're at a party and someone just does something like that?
Yeah, I don't party with those kind of people.
Yeah. No, I party with Nazis, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like there's those people... I could go on and on about this. I'm not going to. Okay. But everyone gets that. So there was breaking news while we were, I mean, as always, it's Monday. This is a big one, guys. Eric Scheiderman has resigned.
Now, he was the New York Attorney General?
Yes.
And he was, he got nailed on a Me Too. Is that what happened to him?
It's not good. Did you get a chance to look at the art? It just dropped.
Well, now, Ronan Farrow broke this one again, didn't he? Is it another Ronan Farrow story?
Yes.
That dude is journalism hero right now.
It's a Jane Mayer article too.
Okay. Yeah.
I think is even more distinguished. I mean, she's one of my favorite journalists, if not the favorite.
Now, Scheiderman was going after various men that were sexually abusing women.
He was like the number one. This is insane. This is an insane story. And the reason my stomach dropped is because he's Mueller's point man in New York.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the one in charge of that stuff. Now this stuff will keep going without him, but they're all over this already. They're going to be using this.
I have not read my favorite right-wing nut jobs on Twitter yet tonight to get their hot takes.
Yeah, well,
I'm a little afraid now to see what they're saying. That this will be used as an excuse to say, "Oh well, just end the Mueller probe."
The good news is he resigned immediately.
Okay.
So in terms of how these things play out politically, that's a good thing.
And how does the line of succession for New York Attorney General work?
My buddy actually hit me up on Twitter. He thinks it's going to go to a guy named, I think, Xavier Becerra, who I think is the deputy. I have to look into that.
I thought he was here in L.A. That name rings a bell as a Los Angeles politician to me, but I could be wrong.
I thought the guy worked in New York, but I'll go.
Okay.
I'll have to look into that. Maybe there's two Xavier Becerras.
Yeah.
A duality.
Well, look, you can yak and I can look it up on my phone, but that's not good podcasting, is it?
Oh, we'll look it up later.
Okay.
But that article is pretty serious. I mean, this guy sounds like a total psychopath.
Wow.
It's bigger than even like.
All right. Well, what are the accusations then against Scheiderman?
It's 4 women who said he beat them up, during relationships, choked them. It's really bad. I mean, the guy sounds like a complete lunatic.
Okay.
He said he would use the power of his office to intimidate them. He'd wiretap them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is full on movie stalker, like single male, female. No, what is it?
That's some evil stuff.
Single male, single white female.
Single white female. I mean? Oh yeah, I remember that one.
It's like full on lunatic. And this guy's image, obviously now we can tell his image. He crafted that image probably so he could do all this dirt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Ooh. So in terms of the Mueller investigation, not a good thing, but these things roll on, and someone else is going to be appointed, and
we'll have the answer for you next week on who is in the line of succession.
Yeah, if I were Michael Cohen, I wouldn't be partying right now.
No,
thinking that it's all over. So what else is going on?
I don't know. I tuned out of politics all weekend, so I feel unprepared for episode 9 today.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Here's what's going on. Be best.
Oh,
be best.
Yeah,
yeah. Are we going to be best tonight on our podcast?
Yeah. Oh man, my head hurts, dude.
Be best.
Is it possible for someone my age to have an ulcer or a heart attack?
Absolutely, Eric.
I don't need this shit, man. I don't need this shit. Like I woke up and I got the place renovated. Chris knows I got hardwood floors. Place is looking good.
Yeah.
And then you turn on the TV. You wake up a little early. You're having a coffee, and you see Melania Trump unveils her agenda. Fuck. Just want to go back to bed.
Can't go back to bed. You have to get up and be best.
I wake up. I look like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. The single fire. The fan is rolling around. I don't need this shit, man.
That is crazy.
Fucking Zoolander 3 over here. Did you see her?
No, but I glancing at Twitter, I saw people posting pictures of Zoolander. What was the connection?
Oh, you saw my picture?
Was that you? I just saw a picture of the Zoolander looking into the tiny little school for.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay.
Yeah, because Zoolander, that's when he's a model who's a fucking moron.
Okay.
And opens. It's like the parallel was amazing. She's talking. By the way, they say she speaks 9 languages. She doesn't even speak one.
Well, okay. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because, first of all, English is not her first language.
Right, that is a little mean.
And well-to-do people all over Europe are brought up learning multiple languages from young childhood, from as kids. So I bet you. Now we haven't heard her, and she's had opportunity. We did not hear her speak French to the Macrons, which should have happened, but we didn't get to hear that.
I think she is in a way an inspiration to people because it's a sign that no matter how truly low and useless and just shady you are, you can rise all the way to the top.
Only if you look like her, because if you're shady like that and you're
ugly,
fat, and unattractive, you can't.
Yeah. Trump rose to the top.
Well, no, but he's a man.
Yeah.
And he was born into it.
Yeah.
Saying it to him.
I mean, just, oh my God. Like her unveiling an agenda. What agenda?
Well, now this is her anti-cyberbullying campaign.
It was actually a 3-prong campaign for children. I'm telling you, go back and watch. You've seen Zoolander, right?
Oh yeah, it's been years. But
it was literally like the Derek Zoolander school for kids who can't read good.
Can't read too good.
No, it's read good.
I can't. I thought it was can't read too good.
No, the joke was read good.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I busted.
No. I don't know. That was the best part of the joke, because he's illiterate. Anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Well, I was trying to correct you, and I was wrong. I think so. I apologize.
You got schooled.
I did.
So yeah, it was like that. Anyway, it was pretty bad.
But of course, the cyberbullying does not have to start with her husband. Is that the right word for him?
Yeah. It was a 3-prong thing. It was the cyberbullying, something about wellness that made no sense, and I forgot the third one.
Was there a just say no, don't do drugs thing in there somewhere?
We'll never hear about it again, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's pretty much over. I don't know. You think we will hear about that again?
Well, maybe. You're asking me to predict something about Trumplandia? Actually, I've been trying to do that the past couple weeks on the show.
Let's play another game show. Let's play.
All right. I'm in.
Episode 2 of Should I Call the Police?
Okay.
Today's guest is Chris Carey. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, where are you from?
I am from behind the orange curtain.
That's good. I like that. All right, we got today's episode is one question.
Uh-oh.
But it's a good one.
Okay.
Chris.
Yes.
You're on a college tour.
I know where this.
2 of the kids on the tour aren't talking. Should you call the police?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
SWAT team.
Well, yeah. What? Come on.
I read that one and I even had to pause.
Yeah. Now, I mean, maybe we should explain to our podcasting audience that might not be up to date on the story. 2 Native American kids went on a college tour at, a university in Colorado? I don't know exactly which university.
One of the big schools, like a public one, I think.
Apparently, they showed up a little late. They have long hair. They're wearing like death metal band t-shirts, the kind where they have those logos, which is you just can't read, but it's some scary death metal band. They showed up late and they were polite and didn't speak. And one of the white mothers got scared and called the police because these 2 brown boys with long hair and heavy metal t-shirts were being quiet and respectful.
I don't understand why. Like, are there repercussions for that woman?
No.
That's also a problem.
I absolutely agree.
You can't call there is a crime for reporting a false crime, right? To 911.
Yes. Now, I'm sure the white woman that called the police didn't think she was committing a crime. She thought she, well, okay. What does this have to do with the other campaign? See something, say something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is part of the Trump effect.
Mm-hmm. But you don't. Okay, getting back to Giuliani, see something, say something. See something, say something started in 2001.
Did it really?
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did this woman see? She saw 2 boys, teenage college age boys, that she didn't like the look of them. They didn't do anything. It wasn't like they're acting rowdy. She called the police. What if they were acting rowdy? She would call the police anyway. So how do they have to behave to not have the police called on them?
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because it does bring up a larger issue about all this government surveillance, which is both September 11th and the events of the 2016 election have something in common: a catastrophic failure that was completely avoidable, where all the information was out there and our government once again failed to protect us. Yet they think that we should be spied on all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. So you say you need to collect all this information, but you can't prevent something like, especially our last election, that was everything but, I mean, it wasn't like a secret.
Yeah, but see, they can profit off of the collection of all that information.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a...
Cambridge Analytica paid somebody for all that data.
Yeah. I also think it's about control and the illusion of control.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not wrong about that.
But no, there's money to be made for sure. But yeah. So what do you think about that what's her name?
Oh, is that the CIA nominee who was all into waterboarding?
Yeah. She's an example of the after effects of September 11th.
Yeah. Well, apparently waterboarding's cool again. No, but now she isn't. She withdrew her nomination, if I'm not mistaken.
She said she would, but she hasn't.
Oh, it hasn't happened. Okay.
No. So she's gonna hopefully face the music in front of a Senate committee.
And I'm fairly certain Piotis Pussy Grabber tweeted something in her favor today, Monday.
Yeah. She's she ran Gina. They call her Bloody Gina, by the way. That's her nickname. Yeah, that's her nickname.
I didn't see that. Who on Twitter came up with that?
Oh, it's not Twitter. That was her name inside the agency among more moral people.
Wow.
She ran what's called a CIA black site. She oversaw the torture of people, and for that she's been promoted because that's how we do things here now. Apparently.
Now, did anyone she torture give up any good information?
If they did, we never heard about it. I'm just going to go ahead and actually answer that. No, no.
Right.
We've learned this numerous times that not only is torture a war crime, but it does not produce good information.
No.
It produces fake information.
Fake news, yeah.
Well, because what are you going to do if someone's torturing you?
Yeah, you're going to say whatever you can to make them stop.
Whatever you can.
All right, now, doesn't Sean Hannity owe us all a session of being waterboarded? Didn't he promise that once, that he would allow himself to be waterboarded on television?
He did.
Yeah, he never did it, did he?
One of his many broken promises. Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would tune in to Hannity for that.
What about Michael Cohen?
What, Michael Cohen getting waterboarded on Hannity?
Well, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm not saying I would, necessarily change the channel.
No, I would not change the channel on that one either.
Did you read speaking of Michael Cohen, did you read that that New York Times article about his empire kind of?
And his taxi medallion nonsense?
Yeah, all that
I read some of that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty fascinating. If you guys get a chance, check it out. He's really a career criminal.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of just seems like a two-bit sleazy New York mafia, or peripherally connected mafia two-bit lawyer from New York.
Yeah. And Trump...
That's Trump's kind of people.
Man, they dropped, it was either yesterday or the day before, there was... Man, I'm telling you, I should have brought this up earlier, but... Every time I think it can't get worse, there were a couple articles on Trump and this other one by David K. Johnston. The money laundering. I mean, it's even worse than we thought.
Well, I don't think we have any real idea of how much of what exactly went on, what the whole scope of that is. We're going to find out when Mueller eventually tells us what's on all of 16 Michael Cohen flip phones that have bricked on him.
And if you guys didn't see it, around Trump for most of his, shady career, he did business through, he would just build up debts. He wouldn't pay his debts. But then something happened around, I think it was 2006 or 5. Did you see that? That's when he started paying for everything in cash.
Yeah.
And things that weren't worth that much.
Now, is that the same time when, was it Eric or Don Jr. gave an interview to a golf magazine and said, oh, no, we get all of our funding from Russia now?
That's the one.
Okay. Those days.
That's when they started becoming money launderers. The newspapers never say that because they have to be more careful, but I don't give a fuck. He's a money launderer.
Yeah, you know what? Michael Cohen, why don't you come after us for libel and slander against the Trump family?
Yeah, it'll just raise our profile.
All right, so when Trump starts paying for everything with cash, that was around the same time that Eric and or Don gave the Golf magazine interview, the quote about, well, we get all of our funding from Russia now.
Yeah, Captain Genius. He thinks this guy's so dumb. He thinks because the guy's a reporter for a golf magazine. He's not a reporter. He's still a reporter.
Yeah.
But he probably didn't think there was anything, hey, we get funding out of Russia.
Well, also he said it in 2005, 2006.
Right.
Yeah, those things don't go away.
Man, I'm telling you, like my heart sank when I was reading a couple of the new articles on that because I was like, oh God, like this is, and then there's another one, dude. This one was during the election, but I missed it. But it was by David K. Johnston, one of probably the biggest expert.
Yeah,
on Trump.
He was writing books about Trump long before the presidential election stuff.
Yeah. So,
and he's on Lawrence O'Donnell at least once a week.
So, did you know that Trump is a cocaine trafficker or was?
No, I thought that was Cocaine Mitch. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
no, I don't know this one. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Trump the guy who owned the helicopter fleet that ferreted Trump's people around during the 80s was a major cocaine trafficker.
Oh, okay.
He worked out of Miami. So that was one of his like legitimate businesses.
Mm-hmm.
He lived in Trump's building. Like these guys were like really tight. And at that time, Trump was building up his empire in Atlantic City. The biggest, most important thing, you have to have a gaming license.
Mm-hmm.
And any association with a drug trafficker, done. Like they didn't care who it is. No matter what Trump tried to pull, that would have been gone. But for some reason, he kept going to bat for this guy in these ways that were insane.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy eventually got arrested. The case somehow gets assigned to Trump's sister.
Oh, how convenient.
The federal judge. Unbelievable. And there's no logical explanation other than that these guys are in business together. And that guy's business was cocaine. I mean, I didn't even think he would be involved in
So where was David K. Johnson writing about this? Is this in one of his books?
Daily
was this,
Beast.
Okay.
He did mention it in one of the books, but this is a big article in the Daily Beast from before the election.
We will find this link and put it on the Mueller Time Facebook page.
Yeah,
Follow us on Facebook, Mueller Time.
we will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm reading this and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed this.
Wow.
But why did everyone else miss it? That's the real question.
Well, what years was this happening?
Well, that relationship was in the 80s, but Johnston wrote that article before the election.
Okay.
And he's actually asking in the article, he's like, this is something that should be looked into.
Wow. And this is the first time I'm hearing about
Right.
it.
No, but her emails.
But her email.
Yeah, but her emails. No, but the fucking cocaine boat across the port of Miami. How about that one?
Wait, is it different cocaine now?
No, I was just saying
Okay.
that's what they should have been focused on.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, if banging porn stars is okay, why wouldn't trafficking cocaine be a problem now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure.
Well, look, there's the built-in excuse. Well, we knew what we were getting voting for Trump, so it's okay. See, he gets the free pass for all the banging of the porn stars and lying. It's
Man.
okay for Trump to do that.
When his finances come out, even though with everything we know, people's jaws are going to drop.
Yeah.
Full on like Matrix, fucking like every time freezes.
Okay. Yeah. We're still a good year away before any of this really falls.
I've said this before. I know actually you and I have talked about doing predictions, and I maintain that I believe he's not going to serve out till the end of the year. That's my
all right.
belief.
I think he's got a little more time. I want to say he's not going to finish out the full term, but I don't think it's happening in this calendar year. But I think in 2019, Trump will still be president.
2019, interesting.
Okay.
I think impeachment or resignation by December.
Okay, I do think that we're going to get a resignation before an actual impeachment trial. I don't think he'll actually sit through. Yeah, he can't. He won't.
Well, he doesn't have the attention span.
No, well, no.
Just give the guy a fucking burger. He'll show up.
No, he'll resign before he perjures himself.
You were going to say something there before I interrupted you.
No, yeah, I was, but now I forgot. Oh, did you see SNL? And the cameo on SNL in the opening segment?
Stormy?
Yeah.
I caught like a little bit.
What will it take for this to go away? You remember her reply to that from Alec Baldwin as Trump?
Honestly, I don't.
Okay, so yeah, they're just making... if you didn't see the opening of SNL this past Saturday, well, now, depending on when you're listening, they had Alec Baldwin as Trump, and he was getting passed around on the phone to a whole bunch of people, and he gets connected to Stormy Daniels, portrayed by Stormy Daniels. And it was big stunt casting for SNL. I laughed out loud when I saw it. And he says to Alec Baldwin as Trump says to her, what will it take for this to go away? And on live TV, Stormy Daniels herself says, a resignation.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, I've been meaning to bring this up. Is there any way, if possible, can Robert Mueller fold Alec Baldwin's Trump impression into the investigation of crimes against...
Okay, come on. Are you hating on Alec Baldwin?
No, I'm hating on that impression.
Oh, yeah, come on. Look, it's not the best impression out there, but that's not the point of it. I think what's genius about it, though, if it was one of the cast members that's not necessarily as famous, or the fact that it's such a huge star as Alec Baldwin, that's what riles up Trump. That's why he hates it. You don't see Trump tweeting about like the guy on Comedy Central that has the Trump show or
Anthony,
other. Yeah, you know, with like because nobody knows who that guy is. It's because it's Alec Baldwin, and that's why Trump hates it so much. So you know, maybe it's not the best Trump impression, but just the fact that Trump hates it so much is what makes it great.
Well, you're right. That is great. Yeah. But the truth is, look. I love Alec Baldwin. He's the man. I mean, everything that he's done. But it's like watching a bad YouTube impression by some kid in like Wisconsin. Like, and it's embarrassing that they got rid of Daryl Hammond, one of the greatest impressionists ever, whose Trump was awesome for that, in my opinion. But I'm glad it riles him up. That's a good thing.
Let's sidetrack for SNL for a little moment since you brought up Daryl Hammond. What about his career arc at SNL? It's a little odd.
Daryl Hammond's?
Well, yeah, because he now has Don Pardo's spot when he used to be, he was a main cast member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a fascinating guy. Actually, I don't know if you guys ever get a chance, check out a book called, it's called Live from New York.
Yeah.
You read it? Yeah, the definitive history. But I think, look, you couldn't have a better career at SNL.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, Lorne Michaels is in charge. They made a mutual decision. But shoot, if that guy gets paid a fortune just to come in and cut a couple voiceovers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read, now, is it in Live from New York? Maybe I read it somewhere else. One time, Don Pardo, the late Don Pardo, while he was still doing SNL every week, he was sick one week and he couldn't do the regular gig. And Daryl Hammond did it in Don Pardo's voice, and nobody knew any different.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think I read that in Live from New York, and maybe I read that somewhere else. Someone, if anyone out there wants to correct me, Mr. Chris Carey on Twitter, or go to our Mueller Time Facebook page.
Hammond is a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, he is an absolute genius.
And look, you're right. His Trump is better than Alec Baldwin's, but it's the fact that it's Alec Baldwin doing it, that's why that impression exists.
Oh, you think because Baldwin's always been a vocal Democrat, that kind of thing?
Yeah, just the level of star that he is. It's and how much it riles up Trump. Yes, absolutely. That's what it's about. That's why he is doing it rather than someone who actually does a better Trump impression.
There was just we're about at 33, but there's just one more thing I wanted to say. I'm sure you saw. I'm sure everybody saw that the Trump administration is going to expel about half a million Honduran refugees who came here. They came here, I think, originally because of there's a variety of reasons.
Wait, is this the caravan that Fox News was screaming about for the last month?
No, these people have been here since the 90s.
Okay.
It was a combination of, I think, a natural disaster and that Honduras is one of the most violent places in the world.
Okay.
These people came here, they have permission, and he says they have to get out by 2020. They built businesses they're putting in, right? Of course.
So these are legal immigrants.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trump wants them out.
And today, Jeff Sessions announced that they want to separate, if you come here illegally, separate the kids from their parents.
Okay, that was announced today, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. If you watched the Monday night episode of the Rachel Maddow show, Rachel pointed out how that announcement was made within an hour of Melania Trump's Be Best, where children need to be protected was one of the prongs that you talked about.
Right.
Yet an hour later, Jeff Sessions is talking about splitting up families.
So the reason,
as Rachel put it, ripping babies from mothers' arms.
So the reason I brought that stuff up is like we can no longer. This is a moral outrage. So we're doing this show. The reason I'm bringing this up is if anyone is personally being affected by this, I would. I mean, I'm not want to speak for you, but I'm sure you agree.
Yeah.
We would like to help you. It's a moral. There's no way to not look at this and not help. So you can contact us and
reach out to us. We'll do what we can.
We know a lot of people. We'd be glad to help. It's an outrage.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what else to say about it. Otherwise, I guess we'll see what happens on episode 10.
Yeah, that's a good point to call it a night.
Guys, it's been a pleasure, and be careful out there.
Hey, thanks for everybody for tuning in.
Have a great week.